What's up, everybody? Jeremiah Krakowski here, and I wanted to go live today. Let me know where you're watching from. Worry and fear are often tools that we use as safety mechanisms to make sure that we can pre-plan and predict what might happen. But I think that they're actually hurting most of us. Have you ever tried to pre-plan for the worst of what's going to happen in the future? Do you have a pattern of doing this in your life? Of wondering, how are things going to start coming and crashing down on you, and you're going to be destroyed, and people are going to react a certain way, or they're going to do something to you based on what you've experienced in your life. I get it. We have experienced things that in our lives lead us to believe that for our own safety, we need to plan for the worst. But I want to flip your perspective just a little bit on this and challenge you in something. What if you had hoped for the best case scenario? What if you hoped for the way that things could turn out well for you in your business, in your life, in your relationships, in your interactions, having hope for how they can go well, and then totally detach your happiness and joy from them turning out that way? Meaning, you have the hope, but if they don't go that way, your personal identity and feelings and upliftedness is not connected to them turning out perfectly how you want it. You see, what happens is when we worry, we get almost, it's like a lottery type of a thing, where if you worry enough about stuff, eventually you're going to win sometimes. You're going to worry, and then ever so often things are going to go bad for you, and then it validates to you. It fires the dopamine in your brain like the reward sensor that happens when you have drugs or things like that. You get addicted to this feeling of, I successfully predicted something going bad for me. And we don't ever like that feeling of, oh, I hoped for the best and it all went bad. And so it's safer in our minds to just focus on the worst case scenario. That's the way our brains are wired. You don't need any help doing that. That's their default mode. That's your brain's default mode. So you have to be intentional to have hope for how things can go well for you, and realize your brain is doing this to you, that it's been wired for years to look at the worst possible case scenario because it wants to feel rewarded for predicting the future. Detach your need to successfully predict the future. Detach your need to know exactly how things are going to pan out for you. Detach your need from needing to know how things are going to work out before you take action. And hope for the best in things. Plan for the best. And then take action from that place of hope in the best. And so when you do this, when you hope for the best in different scenarios, when you hope for the best in your life, you don't need to sit around worrying about the worst case scenario of how everything can come crashing and burning down for you. You have that hope. If it doesn't work out, it's totally fine. We'll adjust and course correct along the way, but we have to break our addiction from the worry of how is everything going to crash and burn and be destroyed in our life. That feeling of, well, I need to be able to predict the future successfully, and so I can better predict the bad things than the hope for the good things, and then the need to be right in our predictions of good or bad. Instead, have that hope. Start to declare what you want. Start to make declarations for the future of the good that you hope to happen. And then take action in those declarations. I challenge you to do that. I challenge you to do something different than what you've been doing up to this moment in time in your life, and watch your life change. Let me know how it goes. Post in the Grow Your Life